For Steppin Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich. This program is sponsored in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support the arts and culture in the greater New Orleans area.
Good evening, I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, Poppy Tooker, host of the radio program Louisiana Eats, airing twice weekly on WWNO Radio. And hello, Miss Poppy.
Hey,
and here to talk about the 25th anniversary of White Linen Night, Lindsay Wands, and she is Vice President of Hancock Whitney Bank, a longtime sponsor. Good to see you. Hello. He's back, Augustin Correro, the co-artistic director of the Tennessee Williams Theater Company of New Orleans, and we're going to be hearing from Glass Menagerie in just a little bit, but also making her Steppin Out debut, though, Dorian Rush, singer Dorian Rush, and she has a brand new one-woman show. We'll be telling you about that a little later. And we are presenting, you may notice we have a little bit of a different look here, and we are live from the Cornman Studio in Lakeview, from our studios, and we're glad to be here. First up, Poppy.
Peggy, it's your favorite time of year. You know, some people wait all year for Christmas. Peggy and I can't wait for culinary every August.
Such a deal.
Such a deal. The bargains, and it just gives you a good reason to get out and eat in our restaurants that are all so yummy. And I've got some previews for us. Seaworthy. Now, if you have never had a meal in that classic Creole cottage from 1832 on Carondelet Street, what a fabulous building it is. You can go there during culinary and have a 3-course dinner menu for $39 with an optional wine pairing edition for just $15 more. That includes a covey rice salad, charbroiled oysters with a beautiful piment d'Espelette butter and lemon, scallops with creamed corn and marinated rapini and pistachio. And then, also right there on Carondelet Street, Josephine Estelle, Seaworthy's neighbor, has brunch and dinner choices. The culinary brunch menu for $25 only. House-made yogurt and granola with pecans, oats, honey, strawberry, and citrus. Or you can have a little baby iceberg salad with green goddess dressing. Then your choices are a quiche with roasted eggplant, summer squash, cherry tomatoes, or a fried chicken biscuit with Calabrian honey butter, dill pickles, and farm greens. Are you hungry yet? Of course, barbecued shrimp is on the menu, one of the choices. And for dessert, you get to choose between a seasonal sorbet or chocolate gelato. And then Josephine Estelle's culinary 3-course dinner menu is just $30, and it includes meatballs with guanciale, tomato, and parmesan, annolini with eggplant, zucchini, pistachio, and cherry tomatoes, and cavatelli with duck confit, chard, mushroom XO, and pecorino. Yum. Now, if you haven't been to Nole yet, which is new from the Copeland family on St. Charles Avenue, culinary is a very good time to go because they're serving brunch, lunch, and dinner culinary menus. Incredible bargains. For brunch, you get a choice of house red or white sangria, margarita or a mimosa. Then the choices continue with a croque madame, blue crab street corn with Creole cream cheese, fried chicken fajitas. Dessert is tres leches, bread pudding, or sopapilla with orange rum honey. That brunch is $20, liquor included. Then lunch, 3 courses for $15, including a smoked chicken or roasted mushroom flatbread, blackened chicken tinga tacos, and then comes dinner, 3 courses for $29. And the dinner menu includes beer-battered fish tacos, Mexican pork stew, Al's Southern bone-in fried chicken fajitas, showing off that Copeland fried chicken thing. Oh, and a margarita, all at dinner for just $29. And for a list of participating restaurants, you go to neworleans.com/culinary, and they're all there. Now, a lot more is happening than just culinary fun. Bar Revolution has a happy hour. We are looking for some great bargains, and here is one here. That goes on now 7 days a week in that beautiful bar in the Royal Sonesta. Mondays through Fridays, it goes from 5 until 7. Saturdays, it's happy hour from noon till 7 p.m. And Sundays start at 10:30. That's kind of early for a happy hour. And you get to enjoy $7 cocktails, select wines for $7, beer for $5, and they're serving yummy, inventive things like tartines, which are little open-faced sandwiches ranging in price from $6 to $8, crab imperial, black truffle beef tartare. You can have crab beignets, meat pies, shrimp sliders, churro ice cream sandwiches, and Creole cream cheese bread pudding. And now that's all in the bar only, not in the dining room at Restaurant Revolution, but
That's enough to more than amuse. So
what a bargain, and 7 days a week.
Wow, thank you, Poppy.
Thank
And
you.
we turn to Lindsay. It's hard to believe 25 years of the White Linen Night.
Yes.
Way back when? What happened?
Started back in 1994 by the Warehouse District Arts Association. They came together and wanted to bolster summer business in the Warehouse District by inviting the locals down to check out the burgeoning art scene.
And wearing white, huh?
Yes, and wearing white.
Well, it's come a long way, baby, and it's sort of multi-level. Of course, you start with the block party in the 4 to about 700
Right.
blocks of Julia, and so many. How many galleries are open?
There'll be 16 galleries participating with exhibits, some debuting that Saturday.
Okay, and of course, as we know, the CAC is the mothership. Okay,
Yes, absolutely.
And and lots of activities with that. But Tony DeGrati, my goodness, there you go. And people, of course, are encouraged to wear white, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes, indeed, to stay cool. But then eventually, that everybody hopes that you'll move over to the CAC with all kinds of parties, sort of multi-leveled, huh?
Yes, the CAC offers a culinary, or not culinary, not the culinary, but a cool down lounge at the Auction House Market on Julia and Magazine at that corner. And they're also offering another ticketed event, which is the after party at the CAC. And to learn about any more of these events, you can go to cacno.org.
Yeah, and so there's lots of going on, and I love this, the after dark after party.
Yep.
And what, CAC White Linen Night for more info?
Yes.
Yes. Have you been to? It's been 15 years,
Yes.
since Whitney.
Hancock Whitney
Whitney's
has
been supporting, of
Yes.
course, But have you been to White Linen Night?
I have. I've attended for several years, and Hancock Whitney has been a big proponent of supporting the arts and the Warehouse District for 15 years now and supporting white linen. So
Yeah.
we're excited to participate again this year.
Very active in the community. Yeah, well, that's great. Thank you. And of course, we have New Orleans Quiz Queen, New Orleans Magazine Quiz Queen, that is, Julia Street. She has a question for us. And last time we asked you to name which beer was brewed on Tulane Avenue and which was brewed in the French Quarter along the riverfront. And the answers, of course, were Dixie and Jack's. Now, tonight's question. One Louis Armstrong song was made famous by a Broadway musical. Another was revived by a movie starring Robin Williams. Name the musical and the movie. Email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prizes: a year subscription to Louisiana Life magazine, a dish towel with the message "Love is chicken and andouille gumbo" from our friends at wearablevegetables.com, and a pair of free admission passes to either the Audubon Zoo, Aquarium of the Americas, or the Butterfly Garden and Insectarium. You can go to WYES.org for our online calendar, including Kitchen Witch books. By the way, we wanted to let you know they are closing, but they still have plenty of books left in stock. 8,000 used and rare cookbooks, and they're going to be closing at the end of August, but they're all half off and we'll miss them, but it's really an opportunity for a bargain. You can also link to WYES's YouTube channel, and you can see our program there, of course, too. But now, Augustin, A Glass Menagerie. Talk about the ultimate Tennessee Williams play. Next, I guess, to Streetcar Named Desire. Huh?
I think it's right there up there with Streetcar Named Desire and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Glass Menagerie really put New Orleans' favorite playwright on the map. When it first premiered on Broadway, everybody said this is the new American playwright. And so naturally, there's a lot of pressure to put on a great Glass Menagerie, and so we've pulled out all the stops. We're performing at the Mereney Opera House, which is a tremendous venue to perform in, and we've pulled together a cast and a team of designers who are just wonderful. Judy Lee Steele plays Amanda Wingfield, sort of the apex of the Tennessee Williams formidable women, right alongside, I guess, Blanche Dubois and Maggie the Cat.
Yes.
And then we have Julia DeLois, Nathaniel Chouareg, and Matthew Retz filling out the cast. It all takes place in a tiny St. Louis apartment far from the South that Amanda remembers. And it's all about the family dynamic and loving someone, but being in a place where it's hard to love someone, which is a Tennessee Williams theme.
Yes, being set in St. Louis, of course. Now you're back this time at Theater Mereney. Huh?
Yes, at
that's
the Mereney
exciting.
Opera
What a
House,
nice
yeah.
space.
Yeah, it's a wonderful space. It's the set has to include this place because it is so incredible to look at. And so it's a very immersive experience, and the entire room at times sort of seems like it's part of the Glass Menagerie itself.
Well, of course, we should remind people, if they haven't been there, that used to be Holy Trinity Church, and it's really been magnificently transformed into Mereney Opera House, too. It's a good space. I remember seeing your Vieux Carré there. It worked really well.
Yeah, it's absolutely
Really
a
well.
wonderful space.
Well, set up, we have a scene tonight, and set up with the scene will then be.
So we're about to see a scene from the early part of the play between Amanda, the mother, and her daughter, Laura. And Amanda is just about on the edge of giving up on her hopes for Laura's future. But she, being a Tennessee Williams grande dame, is not ready to throw in the towel just yet on her daughter's future.
And now, though, here we have a scene from Tennessee Williams, of course, A Glass Menagerie.
So what are we going to do with the rest of our lives? Stay home and watch the parades go by? Amuse ourselves with the Glass Menagerie, darling? Eternally play those old worn-out photograph records that your father left as a painful reminder of him? We won't have a business career. We've given that up because it gave us nervous indigestion. What is there left but dependency all our lives? I know so well what becomes of unmarried women who are not prepared to occupy a position. I've seen such pitiful cases in the South. Barely tolerated spinsters living off the grudging patronage of sister's husband or brother's wife, stuck away in some little mousetrap of a room, encouraged by one in-law to visit another. Little bird-like women without any nest, eating the crust of humility all their lives. Is that the future that we've mapped out for ourselves? I swear it's the only alternative I can think of. It isn't a very pleasant alternative, is it? Of course, some girls do marry. Haven't you ever liked some boy?
Yes, I liked one once. I came across his picture a while ago.
He gave you his picture?
No, it's in the yearbook.
Oh, a high school boy.
Yes, his name was Jim. Here he is in the Pirates of Penzance.
The what?
The operetta the senior class put on. He had a wonderful voice, and we sat across the aisle from each other Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the odd. Here he is with the silver cup for debating. See his grin?
He must have had a jolly disposition.
He used to call me Blue Roses.
Why did he call you such a name as that?
When I had that attack of pleurosis, he asked me what was the matter when I came back. I said pleurosis. He thought I said Blue Roses. That's what he always called me after that. I didn't care for that girl he went out with. Emily Meisenbach. Emily was the best-dressed girl at Soldan. She never struck me, though, as being sincere. It said in the personal section they're engaged. That's 6 years ago. They must be married by now.
Young women that aren't cut out for business careers usually wind up married to some nice young man. Sister, that's what you'll do.
Augustin, tell us who those wonderful actors were.
Sure. So that was Judy Lee Steele as Amanda Wingfield, and playing her daughter, Laura Wingfield, was Julia DeLois.
Wonderful. And don't forget, you can see the Glass Menagerie through August the 30th. That's a nice long run, huh?
August the 17th. I believe it is.
17th, excuse me. And it's still a nice long run at the Mary Opera House. And of course, that's on St. Ferdinand Street. Go to twtheaternola.com for more information and to purchase tickets. And now, Dorian, we haven't seen you in many plays lately. We're so glad you're back in a one-woman show yet. Tell us about it.
Yet another one-woman show. Well, I kind of went into semi-retirement just so I could pursue my higher education. So I gave myself the freedom to only pick things that were really meaningful to me. And Jonathan Mares came and approached me for the idea of doing a show this summer. And I have been mulling over this idea for a while, and I said, you know what? I think it is time for me to do another show about something that really touches me. And so this is a show about the women in blues, because this year it marks 100 years of blues recording and 100 years of women in blues. It was just seemed like the right time for that.
So we're talking Bessie Smith,
Ma Rainey, all, Coco Taylor, Bonnie Raitt, the list goes on and on. If I could do the show justice, it would be 100 hours long. I'm really going to do my best to tell the tales of these women through their music, but mostly the thing that's so important about it is their spirit. Because a blues woman isn't just about what she sings, it's about her attitude towards life.
So have you actually assembled this? Did you decide the songs and the pattern in between?
Yes,
so
and
this is yours.
It was ruthlessly difficult.
I bet it was.
It was
Trying
really
to decide,
difficult. Trying to decide. You have to fit it into 90 minutes, and try fitting 100 years worth of fantastic music and these unbelievable stories into such a short amount of time.
So as you said, Bessie Smith, Big Mama Thornton, who else? Coco Taylor?
Coco Taylor, Janis Joplin. I got some local gals in there, Irma Thomas, Marva Wright.
Marva Wright.
Yeah,
wow.
I know. I was so privileged to be able to see her perform many times, and
so
she influenced me so deeply as a singer. And I love the fact that she didn't start her professional career till she was almost 40. And that really spoke to me because I didn't start singing until I was in my very late 20s.
That's late.
It's late.
For
it's
a
very
singer.
late. It is. Well, I have to
Yeah.
be honest, I didn't think at that time that I had the right to sing the blues. As a young woman, I just hadn't gone through enough, and then something changed, and that's and I was able to do it, and I found that the blues felt like a form of prayer to me when I sang it.
Now, who's going to be your accompanist?
Ainsley Maddock. She is on
Okay.
piano and guitar.
Wow. So
Yes.
your new best friend, huh?
She's my new
Because you've
best
got to have a
She's
great
so great.
accompanist.
She's so amazing. I thought it was really important to have a female accompanist, given the subject matter for the show. And I was right.
Well, name a few songs, a few Bessie Smith songs you'll be singing.
I can only do one song per person because I'm trying
it's
to
too
cover.
hard, right?
It's too hard.
Okay.
The Bessie Smith song that I decided on was Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out.
Oh, that's a great one.
Very interesting. That song was released 2 weeks before the stock market crash in 1929. I always thought it was written after because it sounds like it's directly related to the whole story of the Great Depression, and it wasn't. It was 2 weeks before. Very interesting.
Now, starting August the 9th, at Teatro Wigo.
Teatro
That's a
Wigo.
great little space, and it's not that far, right?
It seems like it's so far away, but actually it takes very little time. It's a nice smooth ride. There's lots of parking. It's really easy to get to. It's easy.
Yeah, and now what about costume? Do you just wear one costume for this, or what kind of production? What do you have to else do you have to worry about?
Well, I don't really have.
You just wear one particular dress?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of. I don't have anybody to take over the stage for me while I run off stage and change a costume.
Well, that's true. That's a very good point.
So what I'm doing, I'm actually trying to embody the different flavors of each woman with some props. So of course for Billie Holiday,
maybe a boa.
Well, Janis Joplin. Gotta have the glasses and the boa for Janis. There's just to emulate it a little bit. For Billie Holiday, got to have the gardenias,
Oh, I love that.
It's
so a little
just
hint of
little
everything.
Things, just Ma Rainey used to wear like really flashy gold coins and crazy headpieces and things like that. So I had a friend of mine custom make me a headpiece for the show, and I'm going to put that on, and just to kind of give some visual stimulation, because it really is a cabaret. It's really one person singing, one person playing, but it's going to take you on a ride that's very rich.
We look forward to that. Actually, seeing Augustin, we have two big-time theater people here. It is, people think that the summer in New Orleans used to be dead, but of course with Tulane Summer Lyric and Shakespeare, there's a lot cooking, huh, Augustin?
There is. It's a great time to do shows too, because while it might be a little bit lighter than other times of the year, Christmas is lots of Christmas shows, and in the springtime with the Tennessee Williams New Orleans Literary Festival, there's a lot of offerings.
Absolutely.
But the summer's getting busier, and it's still a time to see plenty of things.
And we have so many festivals.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yes, we do.
And I really like the fact, though, that what you're doing here, because putting all that together, it's working with something old but becoming something new. And some folks, it's hard to believe, maybe haven't heard of Bessie Smith or
No,
Big
I
Mama
haven't.
or whatever.
It's so important, especially with today's social and political climate, that we have to know the stories of these women. We have to know how far we have come, so that we can then move forward from there. We don't want to go backwards, and their stories were incredible. They were absolutely fearless. These women were fearless, the pioneers of blues. You'll see.
Okay, I look forward to it. So August the 9th, and a nod to Jonathan Merez, who's the producer, who always does very fascinating things during the year. We appreciate that. But we're just so glad to see your face, girl.
Well, thank you. It's good to be
really
back.
wishing you well on that, too. And now it is time for our picks. Poppy.
Satchmo Summerfest is happening now through Sunday. There's a $6 daily admission. It all takes place at the New Orleans Jazz Museum at the Mint. It's great fun, music, food, everything you want in a festival.
All right. Yes, so much, really. Yes, it's really grown, too, which is great.
Happy birthday, Satchmo.
Yeah, happy birthday, Satchmo. That's right. And once again, that website, my dear, for White Linen Night.
CACNO.org.
Okay, all the info. And it's great to see the CAC with a brand new show, a brand new exhibit in its own, and looking forward to more things to come.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. Augustin.
So I'm already getting into the headspace as we've opened Glass Menagerie for our next show, which is going to be Period of Adjustment. We'll be back up at Loyola University,
And that is one of the
New
few
Orleans.
comedies from the
It
Tennessee
is.
Williams canon,
It's
isn't
a
it?
Christmas comedy. Believe it or not, it's at Christmas, and the movie starred Jane Fonda. And
Yeah, and
that's
Tony
it.
Perkins, huh? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sheesh, really, that's
Yeah.
amazing. And Dorian, I guess what, jpas.org for more info?
JPAS.org. Also, keep in mind that on the 24th, we are going to be having a matinee that Saturday, as opposed to an evening show at 7:30.
Okay, good.
So-
So I know some people just go to matinees, so that's good to
So
know.
it gives options to
Sounds
people.
good. Some good options. And now time for my picks. Local New Orleans artist Will Smith Jr. is mounting his show, Atchafalaya, Actualize. That's tomorrow, August 3rd, from 6 to 9 p.m. And that's at Gallery 600, Julia. The opening is, of course, part of the Hancock Whitney White Linen Night. Smith hopes that his paintings can raise awareness of the Atchafalaya River Basin for its beauty, its ecologically significant role in Louisiana's wetlands, and for a vanishing way of life. The exhibit will run through August 31st. Another White Linen Night installment, Francois Gillot. Oh my goodness, the fabulous Francois Gillot. It's monotypes and cartography of hidden worlds. It will also have its opening reception, of course, tomorrow, Saturday, from 6 to 9 p.m., and that's at McGrider Gallery. also located on Julia Street. The exhibit will be on view through September 28th. Go to mcgridergallery.com for more information. And for those of you, Francois Gillot, of course, was a longtime companion of Pablo Picasso and had a real affinity for New Orleans here. She has visited, the late Ms. Gillot, visited New Orleans many, many times, and there continues to be quite a following around the world, of course, but also in New Orleans as well. Well, thank you all so very much, and thank you very much for watching. Good night.
This program is sponsored in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support the arts and culture in the greater New Orleans area. Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Christovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Christovich.